that mountain, save my heart from the valley. Maybe that desert taught me to pray for rain. Maybe that water never parted for a reason, and you're leading me a better way. Yeah. I've been afraid, I've been a fool, but you never leave me. I've been ashamed, so far from you, but you always find me. So high, so deep is your heart for me, yeah. There's no greater love than the love that you show me, and nobody knows me the way that you know me. A farther than all I can see, wider than I'll ever reach. There's no greater love than the love that you show, love that you show, love that you show me. Yeah. You've seen my worst, you've seen my all. There's no more pretending, yeah. You give it worth and call it yours. You don't hold it against me. So high, so deep is your heart for me, yeah. There's no greater love than the love that you show me, and nobody knows me the way that you know me. Farther than all I can see, wider than I'll ever reach. There's no greater love than the love that you show, love that you show, love that you show me. There's no greater love. There's no greater love. There's no greater love. Like nothing I've ever dreamed of, like nothing I've ever imagined to be true. There's no greater love, yeah. There's no greater love than the love that you show me, and nobody knows me the way that you know me, yeah. A farther than all I can see, wider than I'll ever reach. There's no greater love than the love that you show, love that you show. There's no greater love than the love that you show me. Nobody knows me the way that you know me. Farther than all I can see, wider than I'll ever reach. There's no greater love than the love that you show, love that you show, love that you show me. There's no greater love. There's no greater love. No greater love.
We're in New Burkeville right now, which is about 6 miles east of Altona. But originally my family were born and raised in Mexico, and they moved out here, and then I was born. So all my siblings and everybody were born there. I guess in our area, like where mom and dad, where our family was born and raised, Spanish was definitely a thing, but Low German was more of a common dialect.
Can you say something in Low German for us?
Jag kan vad bäst vite. Yeah, I can. What do you want to know? I'm the youngest of 6. I specifically remember driving, and Alan Jackson was on the radio, and I was trying to sing this harmony line or whatever, and then Lydia was like, "Oh man, you got it. That was cool." I remember that clearly because we were driving right off the highway 421 there. It's weird how I remember that exact moment. Yeah, I would say I would do that. I would say I did chores. My siblings probably said that I wouldn't do chores.
Which sibling specifically?
There is one, my brother Corny would tell me that I didn't do as many chores as he did, which is reality because he is a lot older than I am, and I guess grew up in a different time.
Right.
But definitely there was things that we had to do. You know, just lots of things when it comes to farm life. There's feeding cows, there's helping dad, you know, roll the bales and work on the farm, on the field, moving bales, cutting hay, all those kind of things. Lots of stuff. Not all the time. I actually enjoy doing those things more now than I did back then when I was a kid. I wish I would have paid attention. I definitely learned them, but maybe I didn't retain the information as much as I should have.
Starting tractors with forks.
Yeah, starting tractors with forks. Yeah, you'll see that. That was crazy. My dad has many ways of making things work, and he is probably the smartest man when it comes to anything mechanical that I've ever met. So very thankful for that. He's right there.
Was a career in music like an option to you as a kid? Like, was that in your brain?
Yes. Absolutely, it was in my brain. Did I ever think it would be in reality? No, heck no. I started playing in the metal scene pretty young with a lot of friends kind of in junior high to high school. We have a Youth for Christ drop-in center here in town, which was massive. Shows every weekend. We just filled the place with bands locally, and then we brought bands in. And that's, well, in short, how Tyson and I met and became close friends back then, 10 or 12 years ago. So that was something I loved, but then over time, you know, music preferences change, friends change, all these different things. So yeah, but I remember clearly when I was really young, when I was learning to play guitar, I remember my mom said, one of my friends' mom called asking if we could hang out, like us two boys could get together. And I'm like, oh no, Mom, I'm working. I think I just didn't want to hang out because I wanted to play guitar.
Yeah.
So I just told her that it's working, like I'm working, because for the future, it's going to be for the future. I'm investing in this. It's funny because I'm doing it now for a job. So
Yeah.
way back I was saying it to get out of hanging out, but now it's real life.
Was church a big part of your childhood?
Huge, yeah. I grew up in the Summerfelder Church, which is more conservative, reserved, I guess, in some sense.
Yeah.
Loved my upbringing in the Sunday school there.
Yeah.
Met a lot of really great people and learned a lot of amazing things, the foundation there. So that was really great. But when I turned 16, there was a lot of things when it came to music that wasn't allowed. And just the way the church was set up and that was, you know, where they were at. And I was in a different place where I felt like my calling was taking me somewhere else. And I couldn't really serve that way in that church, and which is fine, whatever. So when I turned 16 or so, I did go to a different church where I started leading worship with guitar and really diving in. So 16 on really inspired me to get, you know, in depth. I had a youth pastor in that other church I went to that really poured into me. I give him a lot of the credit to pushing me through those moments. And then my parents really invested in me too. I think that maybe, I'm sure Dad would have loved if I would have dove into the farm a little more, but he really, shied away from that and just said, you know what, this is what you want to do. Let's get you some better gear and guitars. This is what you want. This is what you think is going to be good and help you progress. And they really poured into me, taking me to band practices and taking me to all these terrible little shows that we played. And man, we were terrible. We sucked so bad, but it was so fun.
Which bands were like big inspirations for you in that time?
Oh, well, Under Oath was huge. Anberlin was really massive. Anberlin was one of the first like real like Christian like rock bands that I dove into. They didn't do any of like, the screamo hardcore stuff, but like fast paced, like crazy, like great guitar riffs, like awesome stuff. So they were one. August Burns Red was huge for me. And then there was local bands here that were just incredible. Triumph at Sea was a band that was from Altona here. That, man, I just love those guys so much. They really poured into me as a young kid too, and that was really, really special moments. Killer was joined formed by Jordan and James.
Yeah.
I guess there was a band before that called the Jordan Jansen Band, and it was Jansen and his dad and a bunch of guys, James included in that. So long story short, they wanted to do a new record, and at that point, the producer or their management team or whatever said that it's time, maybe you guys should look at starting like an actual band and forming something other than Jordan Jansen Band and naming it a band name. So at that point, when they were recording that record, they decided to do something fresh, and that was the debut record in 2012, and they called it The Color. And then, so in 2012, at the listening party, I was just friends with Jordan and James at that time, and they invited me to come. My wife, we were dating at that point, but Janelle and I went and we checked it out. And I had a friend, a really close friend of mine, Tyler, who played drums for them at that time. So right as they released it, after that listening party we had, they announced that their bass player was leaving, and they needed a bass player. They approached me asking if and it was like right before the tour, like their first kind of send off, like this is the color, like we're gonna go and promote this new record, new name, everything.
Yeah.
And they asked if I guess Tyler, I think he was one that mentioned me, and James and Jordan knew me a little bit through the music scene. It's pretty tight knit in this area. I was from a different community, but everybody knows everybody if you play music. So yeah, they asked me if I wanted to play bass, and I was like, I don't play bass at all, though I would love to learn. And this kind of sounds silly, but at that time I was in a young adults Bible study, and we had just had a discussion about just like stepping out of your comfort zone and really just jumping into something that might be different than what you're used to and whatever. And they had just asked me to play bass. I'm like, well, this is super different than I've ever done before. I've always wanted to kind of go on tour. I've done a tour before, actually with Tyson before that, in a different band. But yeah, I kind of was like, you know what, maybe I should try playing bass and learning something else and just seeing if I help these guys out and do something new. So yeah, I joined in 2012 on bass, and on that tour, I think it was in Saskatchewan, we were playing, and I was like, you know what, I think I want to stay. If you guys will have me, like I'll stay. And then we all had this like crazy exciting moment where we all just yelled in the van. So then I joined officially as their bass player. I played bass for 3.5 years for them, and then our guitar player, Gabe, he stepped away after that, and then I jumped onto the guitar side again because I really felt that was as well as what I play and feel most comfortable on. Correct, yeah. So when they asked me to play bass, I was fresh. Like I worked at the music shop at Jansen Brothers, and I was like, guys, I need a bass guitar. So they hooked me up, and I went and picked up a cheap little bass, and I had a friend that borrowed me a massive bass amp stack, super unnecessary, especially for bass, playing these tiny little shows, big old 412, and he played in the band, the metal band I did back in the day, but I borrowed that from him, and I went on the tour, and then I loved it. I fell in love, and I've been playing bass ever since on the side and really enjoy it.
Try to push and pull, playing games with you, like there's something to prove. I go back and forth in a tug of war. Would I know that I'm yours? If I wander in the dark, like gravity, you pull me to your heart. Your heart. And now I'm never on my own. There'll always be the place where I am home. I'm not a stranger to your love. 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 Every second guess anything you say, like an unfaithful friend. Keep on acting like I don't recognize that you're here in my life. If I wander in the dark, like gravity, you pull me to your heart. Your heart. Now I'm never on my own. You'll always be the place where I am home. Yeah. I'm not a stranger to your love. I'm not a stranger to your love. I'm not a stranger to your love. Yeah. I'm not a stranger to your love. Yeah. I am not a stranger. I am not a stranger. I am not a stranger. Oh, oh, oh. I am not a stranger. I am not a stranger. I am not a stranger. Oh, 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 yeah. You know me by my name, and your love will never change. not a stranger to your love, to your love, to your love, to your love, to your love. I'm not a stranger to your love. I'm not a stranger to your love. I'm not a stranger. I'm not a stranger. I'm not a stranger to your love.
So you mentioned there the Jansen Brothers is pre The Color. You worked there before The Color even?
Right around the same time. So I've known those guys forever. They're twin brothers that own a music shop here in Winkler, Manitoba. And they're just incredible guys that have really poured into our local music scene, just in who they are. They're just amazing people. So way back, I started going there buying gear and stuff, and then I remember they were in a tiny little corner little shop. It was like almost the size of this truck box. It was so small. And I was picking up some drums at that time, and then he just said, like, we love you, man, like we want you to work here one day. I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. So years later, I got the opportunity to work there really part-time. So I worked at a lumber yard here in town, and then I would go in the evenings to go and work there during the nights, like just to kind of help in the evening shifts or whatever. And yeah, so that's what I did. And then I got asked to join The Color. So then I would do, man, it was chaos, because I would work full day, go to Jansen Brothers, and then I would go to rehearsal. Before that Color's first tour, we had 2 weeks, I think, something like that, to learn all these songs and go on tour. And then I had to learn a new instrument and dive in and all these things. So I would work, rehearse, work another job. It was crazy. And then drive half hour every time. It was nutso. I'm full-time at the shop when I'm not on the road. With COVID being what it is, I have been there full-time. It's been awesome. I love that place so much. So yeah, I've been there for a long time, and I really love what I do there, and I love the people. I love getting to pour into kids and people that are learning to play instruments, and kind of starting that same process I did way back, and kind of do what the brothers did to me, right? Kind of just encourage these kids to, I don't have the power to say, hey, I want you to work here, but like they did. But it's really cool.
So you like see yourself in some of the kids?
Oh man, there's some pretty spitting images, I think, of my process. Unfortunately, the music scene here locally is no longer a thing, but I think it's going to start up again. But yeah, I definitely see it. Yeah.
Sometimes the most important things can be forgotten. Sometimes what really matters most keeps getting lost. I leave you in the backseat waiting and find myself alone when you're the one I really want. Yeah. I wanna see you with my eyes wide open. I don't wanna turn away and miss you in the moment. I lay my defenses down and run into your freedom, to see the wonder that you are with eyes wide open. Without you, it's a wilderness. My soul is thirsty. Without you, I'm in the dark. I'm walking blind. But your love is all that satisfies me. Melt this heart of stone and leave my fears far behind. Yeah. I wanna see you with my eyes wide open. I don't wanna turn away and miss you in the moment. I lay my defenses down and run into your freedom, to see the wonder that you are with eyes wide open. Yeah, with eyes wide open. With eyes wide open. With eyes wide open. Take it away, Larry. miss you in the moment. I lay my defenses down and run into your freedom to see the wonder that you are. Oh yeah, I wanna see you with my eyes wide open. I don't wanna turn away and miss you in the moment. Yeah, lay my defenses down and run into your freedom to see the wonder that you are. Yeah, to see the wonder that you are with eyes wide open. Yeah, with eyes wide open. With eyes wide open. With eyes wide open.
My wife, her name is Janelle Caitlin. She is wonderful. We have been married for almost 6 years. In September it will be 6 years. Yeah, we've been together for, almost 10 years, I think. We dated for a while, and then we got engaged and got married. We have an incredible, beautiful little boy. He's almost 2.5. His name's Emery, and he's the best.
It's adorable.
He is adorable, yes. We are pretty biased, but he's the bomb. But yeah, she sings beautifully. That's kind of how we met. I used to play in a band called Captain Bear, and we did this like hip hop rock thing.
What the heck does Captain Bear mean?
Doesn't mean anything, just was cool. It was like a Rage Against the Machine mixed with Manifest, mixed with Eminem. I don't know. It was great. It was breakdowns and rap music. It was awesome. We played a local festival here called Sold, and she was in the worship band for that event. And I remember playing there, and this sounds cheesy, but this is clearly how I remember how we met. She was sound checking, and I'm like, dang, who the heck is that? Who's singing? So then I went all the way around, and then I watched her side stage, and I just watched her sing and listened to her sing, and she just was awesome. She was so good. And yeah, that was day one of getting to know each other. A few years later, we connected again. And we attend a church in Winkler called GMC, Gospel Mission Church.
You guys lead worship together?
Yeah, Janelle leads there, I play guitar. But yeah, we have a really great team there. We're really thankful for that place. It's been huge for us and our marriage. And when I'm gone, she has a great community there to help her out and take care of her and encourage her when I'm on the road, and just this dynamic that's really important for us, and it's been a great thing. So yeah, she sings there and she crushes it, and then I play in the background. It's great.
As I saw you like running around with your son on the farm today, what's it like to see like a little you where you grew up?
Oh man, that is it's a really special thing. He loves it here so much, which is really cool. My dad really pours into him. My dad really pours into a lot of us kids. Oh, I'm getting emotional. But yeah, this place is really important to us. And yeah, lots of history, lots of really great memories. I don't have a bad memory on this farm, on this yard. And yeah, just getting to be here, play music, and then see my boy getting to experience what we experienced. And he gets to jump on the tractor with dad, jump on the four-wheeler with dad, gets to eat my mom's food, and like all these different things. And yeah, it is pretty special getting to have him here. Yeah, it's yeah, very thankful. I don't know what else to say. It's really cool. We don't live on a farm now, my wife and I. We're not. I don't think that farm would last very long if we were to run one. But getting to come here whenever we want to, and he can experience the cattle and all these cool tractors and things that I did when I was a kid is really neat for him. He's number 19 of nieces and nephews and grandkids in this family. So yeah, there's lots of them. But it's cool because there's 19 and my parents love and pour into every single one of those kids. And I love that my son is the youngest, and 15 or 16 years is the gap from the oldest to him, and he gets the same experience that everybody else did. So it's really cool.
Spirit sound, rushing wind, fire of God, fall within. Holy Ghost, breathe on us, we pray. As we repent, turn from sin, revival embers smoldering, breath of God, fan us into flame. We need a fresh wind, the fragrance of heaven. Pour your spirit out, pour your spirit out.
With hearts that burn with holy fear, purified with faith indeed, refiner's fire, strengthen what remains.
So we the church who bear your light, lamp of flame, city bright, King and kingdom come is what we pray. We need a fresh wind, the fragrance of heaven. Pour your spirit out, pour your spirit out. A holy anointing, the power of your presence. Pour your spirit out, pour your spirit out.
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 Pour your spirit out. Pour your spirit out.
Pour your spirit out.
Pour your spirit out.
Pour your spirit out.
Pour your spirit out.
Pour your spirit out.
Pour your spirit out.
Let all the redeemed prophesy and see. We can hear the wind blowing, blowing, blowing. Move upon our praise. Sons and daughters sing. We can hear the wind blowing, blowing. Yeah, we need a fresh wind, the fragrance of heaven. Pour your spirit out, pour your spirit out. A holy anointing, the power of your presence. Pour your spirit out, pour your spirit out.
Pour your spirit out. Pour your spirit out. Pour your spirit out.
How was that playing?
It's great, man.
How great?
Fantastic, even. Best part?
Yeah.
Hundo P, doing it with my wife. Being able to have her here with me was really fun. This last year has been really strange with the reality of music shutting down and just stopping. But it's actually been really great.
Yeah, what's the most positive thing you've learned in the last year?
Learned just to be present. That's been the biggest thing, because when you're on the road and traveling, you think that you're really being there, but it's not. That's not truth. There's nothing like being actually home and in person with your family. And I've missed so much being on the road for the last 10 years. So like I've missed a lot of family things, funerals to weddings to births to all these different things, and there's a lot of stuff that I'm really sad that I got to miss. I had to miss, but now just being home and like being in on every little piece on my son's upbringing and him learning all these new things and just yeah, just getting closer with my wife, and it's funny because we have never had this much time together,
Yeah.
ever. So like we started dating when I was in the color. We started, or right when I started with the color, we started dating, and so she knows me touring, right? So this past year has been really important for me just to kind of stop, like actually, not slow down, stop, like,
Yeah.
because we had to stop. And I think for the industry, it's like we're just so used to go, like go hard, learn these songs, like have this in your head all the time, always kind of be on, right? So now it's just time to just stop and just take in every moment. And that's been really important for me. It's been really good. I've been really thankful for that. My son is one. He was born right before COVID hit.
Yeah.
And man, I can't imagine missing him, his first steps and all these different things. He talks like crazy. He's super fun.
You got to be there for everything.
Got to be there for everything.
Such a blessing. Right?
Yeah, so thankful for that. It's going to be hard leaving again though. Man, oh man, I'm not looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to playing and getting to see all the amazing people that we get to meet on the road and seeing all these places, but I hate being gone. Even before, I just hate being gone. So that's always been the struggle. It's going to be even harder now, but day by day, one day at a time. Do I look in the camera? Or are you?
That's, you can look right in my eyes.
My name's Larry Abrams. No middle name.
No middle name.
No middle name. My wife gave me a middle name, actually. It's Anthony. So, Larry Anthony. You can call me that if you like. It's not legal by any means. Well, it's not illegal to call me that, but it's not a legal name. But Larry Abrams is my name. I play guitar in the color, and welcome to New Berks Hill. And on my dad's 77. Peace.
Look at the stars hung in the sky. Who put them there? Who gives them light? No ocean deep could hold His grace. Follow His lead and He'll make a way. He broke the fall when He rose from the grave. He changed it all in a matter of days. No matter how great the problem we face, we gotta remember He stays the same. When you just can't face tomorrow, when you're down deep in the sorrow, when your faith is on the edge, don't be afraid to step. 'Cause even if you fail to fly, He'll catch you by surprise. He'll catch you by surprise. Don't be afraid, stand on your feet. His hands of love hold everything. All that we know can comprehend His perfect will and His perfect plan. So when you just can't face tomorrow, when you're down deep in the sorrow, when your faith is on the edge, don't be afraid to step. 'Cause even if you fail to fly, He'll catch you by surprise. He'll catch you by surprise. To the bridge. When you're fading in the fight, He'll catch you by surprise. Oh, He won't let go, and He will turn the dark to light right before your eyes. Oh, He won't let go. So when you just can't face tomorrow, and when you're down deep in the sorrow, when your faith is on the edge, don't be afraid to step. 'Cause even if you fail to fly, He'll catch you by surprise. He'll catch you